Next, we have Matthias Mohr from Radiant Earth Foundation. He's one of our fellows. Matthias, are you able to join? I see you and I hear you.
I'm here.
Can you share your screen?
I'll try. Yeah, so I'll talk about STAC Browser and the state of it, because recently a lot of development has taken place, and we're redoing the whole thing again to support the whole ecosystem of catalogs and APIs. So quick overview, what is STAC Browser? It shows basically any STAC catalog or API as a human readable website. So basically it outputs HTML instead of the JSON that you have generated, so that it can be consumed in a normal browser by everyone. Currently, version 2 is released, has been released a year ago, basically. It is stable, but had some issues in the past and wasn't very extensible. Also had issues with APIs because it was written in a time where only static catalogs were really a thing. So this still gets bug fixes until version 3 is stable, but version 3 is now the latest and greatest, hopefully. It is in an alpha version, so not really stable yet, but will go into beta in May 22, and then follow up with subsequent releases until it's stable, hopefully somewhere in this year. So it's basically a state of STAC Browser. So what is new in comparison to version 2? The basic aim for rewriting it was to support the full stack functionality, including APIs and all the functionality that is defined in the API specification, including extensions, and also to get a bit away from the stack focus. Like the previous version was really just displaying the JSON and showing all the technical details behind STAC, more or less, and that should be hidden, of course, for users that are not aware of STAC but just want to get to the data. So we're making it a bit easier. And of course, it should be extensible and customizable, for example, for other cloud-native formats like COP, BC, and ZAR. So some examples. That is how the version 3 now shows catalogs. In this example, Microsoft Planetary Computer, you see a list of all the catalogs and collections that it offers, nicely visualized. This is how the Planet Root STAC catalog shows the OpenSkySat data, which includes items and catalogs at the same level. So this is a collection basically rendered nicely. You can navigate through it. This is then the item and shows all the assets, points back to the collection and visualizes all the metadata that has been provided. And you can also show the actual data. So it is now possible to render the COGs client side without needing a tiler or any tiling service in the background that runs on a server. So this is all pure client code thanks to STAC layer, which and that is backed by basically pure raster layer for leaflet, which Daniel talked about before as well. You can now quickly navigate through the catalogs with some kind of a sidebar that comes out and shows the hierarchy of STAC catalogs and items. You also finally get human readable URLs. The old URLs were very, well, you couldn't understand them and very, very long. Now it looks more like something that a human can understand. You also now get the metadata visualized for assets. It has been past edition, but very late addition to the spec specification, and as such was not covered by the old STAC Browser. So you get all the information that have been added to the metadata of the asset. For example, here are the bands or the projection information. It also now supports search, which was not available before. So you can both search globally or via collection as supported by the API specification. It shows the items on the right with the footprints, and you can choose your criteria on the left. This is the collection specific search that is basically the same as the global one, just embedded into the collection view. And then, of course, this is the current version, the alpha version that I've just shown, and the plans for version 3, or the stable one, include some other additional functionality. For example, we would like to add code snippets for clients so that, for example, if you access an item, you can export or copy a code snippet for PyStack or .NET Stack or the R Stack client so that you can simply start in your environment.
I break in and tell you to wrap it up.
Okay, yeah, I'll do so. Better search support, better COGs support, and more and long-term plans are also to add schema.org metadata for search engines so that they can index the pages. Support for other cloud-native formats like ZAR and CoPC, and multi-language support. These are the URLs you could be interested in. You can check it out with your own data under the first URL. Just copy-paste the URL and it should show your data, and you can get involved on GitHub. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Matthias. Next week.